check. Hello everyone, what's up? Welcome back to The Alchemist. My name is Pahul, and if I'm audible and visible, please write you in the chat box. You know the drill, yes? I hope everyone is doing good. So today we will discuss about SN2 reaction mechanisms, and SN2 reaction mechanism is something that is very easy, but it's misunderstood by a lot of people, and this comprises of one of the most important reactions of organic chemistry, because this is a basic mechanism which applies to lots of different reactions that you will see later on in your organic chemistry chapters. Fine? Before we get into any teaching part, I have to make a few announcements. So first thing is, we've got Unacademy's Mega Combat Scholarship Test this Sunday. Okay, we are offering lots of scholarships. These scholarships are applicable on Unacademy's Plus subscription, and the main benefit of taking a mock test online is that you will get to know exactly how online tests work, and you will also be able to compete with a lot of people across the country, which is what mainly matters for you right now. Okay, so in case you want to enroll in it for free, you use the code PAHUL, and free enrollment, definitely go for it. Links in the description, or you can simply enroll in it from the app. Also, we have a mega combo subscription offer going for you. If you take the IIT JEE and the CBSE subscription at the same time, you'll be able to save up to rupees 20,000. The discounts are there for the 12 months and 24-month subscription. It's available for a limited period of time, of course. So you should again use the code PAHUL to enroll in this offer as well. Links once again in the description box, and you can also access these things in the app. I have been told by the team that the prices are going to rise from the 1st of October. So in case you are someone who's wishing to make an investment into Unacademy Plus, right now is a very good time to do that. The code you use, of course, is the same, PAHUL, and you'll be able to use the current prices to enroll, because after the price hike, it's going to be a little more expensive. Fine. And at Unacademy, we've got India's best teachers teaching you on the Unacademy's Plus platform. You have the capability to study from any teacher. Fine, you'll be able to go to anyone's class. You can access anyone's study material. You can study from 20 different teachers. You can access one teacher's classes, the other person's study materials, other teachers' tests, etc. So it's all a possibility on the Plus subscription. You get a definite boost, a definite advantage in your preparation. If you want to enroll for 12 months right now, the cost will be less than 3,000 a month, and the code you have to use in order to unlock the best price is PAHUL. Fine. And there are batches that we started last week for 11th, 12th and droppers. There are batches that we started this week for 11th, 12th droppers. There are batches starting next week as well. So you can enroll at any point of time. You will not be late. Fine. And in case you want personal mentorship as well, along with all the benefits of the Plus subscription, then you should definitely go for the Iconic subscription. You get personal guidance in it. You get study planner taken care of in it. Fine. Having a personal mentor is a definite advantage in this preparation stage. So enroll into the Iconic subscription. You'll have to shell out a little more, of course, because having a personal mentor is not that cheap. Also, the code you use over here is the same for the maximum discount. And if at any point of time you find anything inappropriate in the video, then you can report it via the links called the Bugs Bounty. They are also in the description box down below. If you're the first one to report a certain issue, you'll be able to claim a prize as well. Fine. So now jumping on to SN2. First of all, let's try to understand what's the meaning of the symbol SN2. S stands for substitution. Okay. S stands for substitution. N stands for nucleophilic. Okay. And 2 stands for bimolecular. Essentially, the reaction that we have today is a bimolecular nucleophilic substitution reaction. Alrighty. And if I draw the skeletal reaction for you, now this class, I'll try to maintain a good pace in this class, and you need to pay a lot of attention to whatever I'm saying at all points of time. Intermittently, I'll be looking at the chat box as well, but mainly we'll focus on the screen to study. Alright. So bimolecular nucleophilic substitution, that's the basic name of this reaction. And what happens over here is you have a reactant which is typically an alkyl halide. I'll take a very simple alkyl halide for the example. Let's say CH3Cl, and you react it with a strong nucleophile. A strong nucleophile could be a negatively charged species, something like OH negative. What happens at the end of this reaction is that you get a product where the CH3 now has an OH group instead of the Cl, so it's a replacement reaction. OH negative has replaced the Cl in the structure. Okay, that's why we call it a substitution reaction. You've substituted chlorine with oxygen over here and you will get Cl negative on the side. Basic skeletal reaction. Alrighty. Now the main reactant that we are taking over here, I will always refer to it as my substrate. Organic chemistry mein, I have told you earlier as well that the main reactant is known as substrate. Alrighty, and this guy over here, OH negative, this I will refer to as the nucleophile. Nucleophile loves a positive character. Right? Harshini, I have done all the physical chemistry chapters of 12th class already on the channel. You can check out those classes. It's in the 12th class playlist. And for the 11th class, we've done like the first few chapters as well. Okay. Abhigyan, you, what's up, man? Why are you here, bro? So, Abhigyan is a very regular student of mine in my plus classes. I don't know why Abhigyan is here, but okay, cool. If you want to be here, because he's already learnt about this from me in the plus classes. Fine. Chalo. So now the reaction mechanism of this is very important for us to understand. Okay. And in order to understand the reaction mechanism, of course, we need to look at the tetrahedral carbon. ठीक है? Sorry. Carbon बनाएंगे मस्त. And I hope you guys remember the tetrahedral shape of the carbon. Yes. And over here, let us say that at the front, you've got the chlorine, all right, and you've got just hydrogens on the other carbons, just for the sake of simplicity. बिल्कुल simplicity के लिए अपन ये discuss करेंगे. Now, my dear friends, over here, this chlorine, since it is going away from the original substrate, since it is going away from the original product, this will be called the leaving group. Okay, this will be called the leaving group. Now the thing is that an OH negative group has to attack this particular carbon. OH negative group has to attack the carbon and chlorine has to leave. My dear friends, in order to illustrate this outside of the screen as well, to make it look a little more realistic and more easy to imagine for you, I have this model that I have made. Okay, ये model भी बनाया मैंने. This is something that I have made for you. So what I have drawn on the screen is something like this. Yeah, कुछ ऐसी चीज draw की है मैंने screen पे आपके लिए. This is what I have drawn for you on the screen. It's a little difficult to hold, but yeah, cool. So this chlorine which wants to leave is pointing towards you, let's say. Fine, and the OH has to attack. Now for OH to attack, it has to come close to this structure, start reacting with carbon, start sharing electrons with carbon, isn't it? Now, do you realize that since there is a chlorine that is present over here, chlorine has its electron cloud at the front, isn't it? Abhigyan, cool man. If you need to revise from here, it's good. So batao. Do you realize that there is an electron cloud of chlorine over here and there are tiny electron clouds of hydrogens as well? Fine. So if an oxygen, let me take another, sorry, red colored thing for oxygen. Yeah. So if I have to take an oxygen and approach this particular carbon, can it approach from this side? Is it possible for the oxygen to approach from the front side? नहीं नहीं, ये repel हो जाएगा. Kriya Fashions, this is a recorded lecture that I recorded back in 1872. Okay, there were lots of battles going on around me, but I just took my MacBook and my high-speed internet and recorded this session and set it to premiere on 24th of September 2021. Yeah, so yeah, it is definitely a recorded class. Anyway, there are some warriors fighting outside. I will try not to fight with them myself. Anyway, so this is an oxygen, yeah, and it wants to approach. If it approaches from the direction of chlorine, it will repel. आएगा ही नहीं, it will just repel. Yeah, even in this direction, there is going to be a certain electronic density of chlorine. So in this particular area, yeah, from the front face, if I say that chlorine makes up the front face of this particular molecule, yeah, from the front face, the attack is not possible at all. There's going to be a lot of repulsion. So do you realize that the back face is literally empty? Study time, yeah, man, of course. Of course, I can predict the future. So, do you realize that this space would be empty and it's the perfect space for the oxygen to attack? Yeah, dikh raha hai, mast. Good space for interaction with the carbon. Alrighty. So, my dear friends, the oxygen over here, instead of attacking from the front, this is what doesn't happen. Oxygen would definitely prefer to attack from the back side. ठीक है जी, the attack of oxygen would happen from the back side. So यहाँ पे मैं लिख दूंगा, I'll write this fact over here that oxygen prefers a backside attack. Already, oxygen prefers a backside attack. Ujjwal is asking क्या पढ़ा रहे हैं सर आप? Ujjwal मैं पढ़ा रहा हूँ कि गाड़ी कैसे चलाते हैं. So ये गाड़ी का स्टीयरिंग व्हील है, ठीक है, और इसको ऐसा चलाने का है, मस्त. So I'm teaching you how to drive a car. Fine. Avay Krishna, yes bro, of course. That's my responsibility as a teacher. Pritu, yes, you can watch it later as well. Janesh, yes bro, not a problem. Fine. So OH negative will do a backside attack over here. And my dear friends, when OH negative does a backside attack, of course, chlorine would take its electrons and leave away. Isn't it? Chlorine अपने electron पकड़ेगा और भाग जाएगा. Chlorine will just take both the electrons that are there in the bond and leave. Okay. So this is one of the schematic diagrams of the SN2 reaction that I've shown you on the paper. Fine. So backside attack होगा, right? Now there is a little better way to draw it, and that is what I will do. And then we'll try to see another very interesting thing known as the transition state. ठीक है, बैक साइड अटैक समझ आ गया सबको. सो नाउ आई एम गोना ड्रॉ इट ऑन द स्क्रीन समथिंग लाइक दिस. थोड़ा और अच्छे से इंटरेस्टिंग तरीके में ड्रॉ करता हूं मैं. देयर इज अ कार्बन ओवर हियर एंड वी विल कीप द क्लोरीन इन द प्लेन ऑफ द स्क्रीन. हाइड्रोजन ओवर हियर, one hydrogen pointing towards you like this and the other hydrogen pointed away from you like this, and of course the OH negative will attack from this particular side and chlorine is going to leave. My dear friends, the next thing that I'm going to draw for you is known as the transition state. It tells you while the reaction is happening, what does the structure look like? What does the structure look like when the reaction is still happening? Okay, let's try to imagine that. So there's going to be a carbon over here, okay, and carbon pe, do you realize that the bond with chlorine is going to be, you know, it's going to break apart. It will be breaking apart at that particular point of time. When the reaction is happening, the bond is breaking apart. Okay, so I will write over here that this particular bond is breaking. ये bond टूट रहा है. Fine. And do you realize because the bond is breaking, because chlorine is taking electrons away from the carbon, because chlorine is taking electrons away from the carbon, there will be a partial positive character on the carbon. Because chlorine is taking the electrons away, chlorine will right now have a partial negative character. Not a fully negative right now because the reaction is still going on. And on the opposite end, of course, because of this partial positive character, oxygen will definitely feel attracted to the carbon and will try to make a bond with this carbon as well. Oxygen also right now has a partial negative character because it is trying to fulfill the carbon's positive character as well. Fine. So the bond that we've made on the left hand side, I can write underneath it that this bond is forming right now. है ना? Right hand side bond is breaking, left hand side bond is being formed right now. And where are the hydrogens at this particular point of time? The hydrogens are right in this particular plane that cuts your screen in half. Yeah, I'll try to draw that on the screen for you. It's going to be very tricky to draw, but I'll still try to do some justice to it. एक सेकेंड, ये माउस चलना बंद हो जाता ढंग से. Oh, sometimes difficult to write on the Mac, but yeah, I'll try to show it using a particular model as well. Let me search for a model that has the necessary shape for it. Okay. So the hydrogens are in just one plane. I'll try to show you the shape of this particular transition state as well. Just give me one moment. Let me see where is that type of a species. अरे यार एक तो सारे कलर एक जैसे दिखते हैं मेरे को. Yeah, this makes sense. Fine. So the hydrogens are all in one plane. Yeah, people, and by the time I'm making the structures, you can definitely chat with each other. So these are the hydrogens, okay? All the hydrogens are in one plane. Fine. The bond with chlorine is breaking apart. I'll make those bonds for you as well. Yeah. The bond with the chlorine is breaking apart and the bond with oxygen is getting formed. So let's say this yellow thing is chlorine and this red thing is oxygen. Let me see if it is in the correct orientation. Ye dekho. Yeah. Can you see something like this on the screen? Yeah. This bond over here is being formed right now. This bond over here is breaking apart. This is what the structure looks like. Getting the idea? Hydrogens are in one plane. Yeah. Now you'll be like, sir, but you've made carbon pentavalent. No, because this bond and this bond are partial bonds. They are breaking apart and forming right now, not full bonds. Okay. All right. Chalo. So this image that we have made is known as the image of a transition state. It's known as the image of a transition state. The reaction is happening at this point of time. This is an image, an imaginary image that we have written on paper. Okay, you can't see this transition state in reality. It happens very fast. To observe this is next to impossible. Fine. So what you do is, since you have theoretically written it, you put it in square brackets just to make sure that everyone understands that this is something that we've imagined theoretically. Put it in square brackets. Okay. So this is what your transition state looks like. After the transition state is done, then you will get the final product. Okay. Now in the final product, since the chlorine has left from one end and the oxygen has approached from the other, the structure will look slightly different from the original one. Let me show you how. Do you see what has happened over here between the two structures? Let me just zoom out so that we can fit both the things in one page. Can you see the difference in both the structures that I've made? I will definitely tell you about that. Okay, don't worry. And Rohit is saying just like chlorine is the same for fluorine and bromine and iodine also. Yes, it is. देख रहे हो दोस्तों? What's going on over here? Can you see the difference? Chlorine left from one particular end. Yeah, chlorine आपका एक side से चला गया and oxygen has approached from the exact opposite end. Can you see? Chlorine has left from one side and oxygen has approached from the exact opposite side. Yeah, the position of the hydrogen atoms also got flipped. है ना? वो flip हो गया ना एकदम umbrella सा. Yeah, can you see? The hydrogen atoms were pointing in this direction and ultimately they are pointing in the other direction. I can't flip, my molecule will break. Okay. Fine. तो पहले structure ऐसा था, ultimately structure कुछ ऐसा हो गया, पलट गया. It just flipped. Yeah. All right. And my dear friends, does this remind you of an umbrella flip? When you take an umbrella in the rain and if it's too windy, the umbrella, instead of being like this, just flips towards the upward side. Yeah. So initially the hydrogens are in this angle, let's say. The oxygen approaches from here, the chlorine goes away from here, so the hydrogens now flip towards the other side. This is as flexible as my hands can be. Okay. So hydrogen pehle idhar the, the hydrogen have flipped towards the other side. Yeah, hydrogen on the right hand side flipped towards the left hand side. So there's a certain umbrella flip that happens during the reaction. So let me zoom it in back again so that we have a nice full screen-ish view. Rohit, that's great, man. So this is your starting point. Reactant goes through a transition state and reaches the product. All right, great. So over here, your Cl negative is the leaving group, OH negative is the nucleophile. I hope you understand exactly how this mechanism works. We know that it happens via a backside attack. Very nice. We've literally understood almost everything that is there in the reaction. Now the next few things that we need to discuss is, do you realize this reaction is actually just a single step reaction? It's a single step reaction, people. There's just one step to this reaction. There are no reactive intermediates that are getting formed. There is no carbocation formed, no carbanion formed, no intermediate products formed. Just from reactant to product through an unstable transition state. That's it. It's a single step reaction. If I have to draw a diagram for this particular reaction, if I have to draw an energy level diagram for this particular reaction, let's say, I will try to draw it over here on the screen. So on the x-axis, of course, we have the reaction coordinate. This is something that you would have learned in the chemical kinetics chapter as well with me. Fine. And on the y-axis, you've got energy. You can say it as potential energy. Okay. So you start with the reactant. This is where the reactant is. I'll mark it with R. You give it some energy so that it reaches the transition state and then you come back to the products. So this particular point is where your transition state exists, and this finally is your product. Reactant, transition state and product. That's it. So there's only one single step over here, and therefore this single step definitely is the rate determining step. Isn't it? There's just one step, so that is why it has to be the rate determining step. Now, one more thing is, in this particular reaction, Ayaya, listen to this explanation carefully. Do you realize that in the main step, the only step of the reaction, there are two species that are interacting with each other? Not just one, two molecules that are interacting with each other. OH negative and the original substrate itself. So substrate and nucleophile are interacting with each other. They are both colliding with each other. Since they are both colliding with each other, the molecularity of this reaction is equal to 2. Yeah, the molecularity of this reaction is equal to 2. Bimolecular reaction. Simple. Now Bharat is asking, is it exothermic and why? Bharat, in most cases it is seen that substitution is exothermic. Why? It is just an experimental idea. When you replace a halogen with an oxygen, it is mostly an exothermic process. Why so? Because the carbon's bond with oxygen is much better than a carbon's bond with any halogen whatsoever. Fine. Because halogens, chlorine, bromine and iodine have a very high size compared to carbon. Their electronic overlap is not that good. Carbon versus fluorine bond is bad because fluorine and carbon's electronegativities, there's a lot of difference between their electronegativities. Yeah, so carbon oxygen bond is a little better. Therefore, most of the times SN2 reactions or substitution reactions are exothermic. There can be some endothermic substitution reactions as well. Fine. So this is a nucleophilic substitution bimolecular reaction, and single step, there is a certain fancy word that we use. Instead of saying it's a single step reaction, we use the word concerted. Yeah, in a concert, all the musicians are playing at the same time, isn't it? In synchrony with each other. Similarly over here, since all the steps, since everything in the reaction is happening in one step, all synchronized, we call it a concerted reaction mechanism. Okay, so Harshini, this is the energy of the reactants initially. You give it some energy. This is the activation energy. Fine. This is the activation energy. This is something that you studied in chemical kinetics as well. So when it has the activation energy, you reach the transition state. Transition state is a point where the reaction is still happening. We've already drawn the transition state over here. Yes, this is what the transition state looks like. Chlorine's bond is breaking apart. OH is trying to form a bond with carbon. The hydrogens are in the plane right in the middle. Yeah, this is also something that I showed you. Fine. Okay, so that is where the transition state is, and it is a very short-lived scenario. You reach the high energy point and then suddenly you drop down to the low energy point. That is the product. Cool. So these are some features of the reaction: concerted reaction, bimolecular reaction. And do you know how we come up with rate equations for these reactions? Ujjwal is saying, sir, organic समझ नहीं आता. Ujjwal भाई चिंता मत करो. If you like to see classes in English, then you can watch my sessions, and that will definitely make you better at organic chemistry for sure. Okay, so I have started organic chemistry from GOC on this chapter as well, on this channel as well. Otherwise, if you want to see other videos of mine on YouTube, you can just search for Pahul Sir GOC YouTube or something like that, and you can start from the very basics of general organic chemistry. Okay, Rosant, yes, it would. Fine. So Bharat is saying that we figure out the rate law via an experiment. Rohit, I know it's difficult to remember, but we'll talk about biomolecules later, please. Yeah. So people, over here, do you understand what I'm trying to say? I'm trying to say that the rate equation for any reaction is determined experimentally. Chemical kinetics, I hope you remember that particular chapter. So whenever we have to give a rate equation, we do an experiment. We see what the rate depends on. Does it depend on the concentration of reactant A, reactant B, what is the power, etc., etc. So over here for an SN2 reaction, when we do the experiment for the rate equation, we find out that the rate is equal to some rate constant. Rate constant will be different in the case of different substrates, different nucleophiles, etc. Okay. But the main thing over here is that the rate depends on the concentration of the substrate into the concentration of the nucleophile. In the above reaction, the species that we've taken specifically are CH3Cl and OH negative. We figure out from the rate equation that the nature of the substrate affects the rate of the reaction, and the nature of the nucleophile also affects the rate of the reaction. Okay. Bharat is saying, since SN2 is a primary reaction, I guess we can straight away say that rate equal to molarity. You mean to say order is equal to molecularity? Yes, Bharat, in this particular case, you can say that. Fine. So from the rate equation, I can definitely see that overall order is equal to 2. And the fun thing over here is that the rate depends on the nature of the nucleophile. Okay, so it looks very obvious right now, but when we will do SN1 reaction, you will realize how important it is to discuss it explicitly. The nature of the nucleophile affects the rate of this reaction. Yeah. So one point that you should note over here is that strong nucleophile implies faster SN2 reaction. Okay, if you have a strong nucleophile, you will have a faster SN2 reaction. Remember, we did questions about this nucleophilic character in the basics of organic reaction mechanisms this Monday itself. Yeah, Monday koi class kiya tha na apan ne. So on Monday we had discussed what are strong nucleophiles, what are weak nucleophiles, steric hindrance matters in the case of a nucleophile, small size versus big size nucleophiles, polar protic versus polar aprotic, solvent, what's the nature of nucleophilicity, yeah, remember? So whenever we have a stronger nucleophile, the reaction of SN2 will be faster. And if you've missed that class of reaction mechanism basics, then please go back and watch it. It will be there in the videos section of this channel. Fine. Second thing over here. Second thing over here. What is the part that is moving in the substrate? What's the part in the substrate that is moving away? The leaving group is moving away, isn't it? The leaving group is leaving. So now, my dear friends, if the leaving group is a good leaving group, there will be a faster reaction. Okay, so I'll write over here, better leaving group, you will get a faster reaction. Better leaving group, faster reaction. What are better leaving groups? What are bad leaving groups? I'll tell you in just a little while. But before I go into that part, I want to remind you that this particular reaction, very important point about this reaction, okay? Do you realize in this reaction we are not creating any charge species? In this reaction, we are not creating any charge species. The most amount of charge is this partial positive, partial negative character. And you'll be like, sir, OH negative is charged. I know, but it is always going to be stabilized with an Na positive or a K positive. Yes, you will be taking KOH or NaOH in the reaction mixture to do this particular reaction. Fine. So, it is noticed that this reaction is very good under, this reaction happens very well under polar aprotic solvents. Okay, polar aprotic solvents are preferred. Fine. Polar aprotic solvents are preferred over here. Polar protic are not preferred because polar protic solvents will give rise to charge species that will give rise to different reaction mechanisms. We don't want that. We just want a simple straightforward reaction. There's just one step, quick step, no charge separation whatsoever. Polar aprotic solvents are preferred over here. Fine. Okay. RDS is rate determining step, the slowest step of the reaction. More details about it I have discussed in the previous class, electrophilic aromatic substitution. So polar aprotic solvents are preferred. This reaction does happen in polar protic solvents as well. In water also this reaction can happen. We will learn that later when we compare SN1, SN2, E1 and E2 all together. But mainly polar aprotic solvents or gaseous phase reactions, SN2 is most probable. Okay, so ye baat ho gayi, right? Now, my dear friends, do you remember that nucleophiles prefer less steric hindrance? ये point याद है from the basics of reaction mechanisms class. Nucleophiles prefer less steric hindrance. See, I have to approach this particular structure, isn't it? Yes, Nutan, SN2 is an elementary reaction. ये देखो, simple. Now there's a lot of space for OH to approach from here. Imagine there wasn't a lot of space. Imagine that there were more groups present on other sides as well. यहाँ पे भी कोई group पड़ा है. Okay. There's a lot of steric hindrance over here. मान लो. Just gonna show that to you. Yeah, a lot of steric hindrance over here. And let's say there are carbons and the carbons have all sorts of hydrogens as well. मस्त ग्रुप लगे हर जगह कुछ ना कुछ पड़ा है. Yeah. Do you see how much I've crowded this particular structure? If the oxygen wants to attack, it will attack from this particular direction, isn't it? If the oxygen has to attack, it will attack from this particular direction because this is the leaving group. Don't forget that this is the leaving group, so oxygen has to attack over here. But there is so much crowd. How will your poor oxygen approach? If this is oxygen, there's no place to approach this structure. Okay, so since nucleophiles prefer less steric hindrance, my dear friends, this gives rise to a very obvious idea over here that methyl substrates give a faster reaction than 1 degree substrates, than 2 degree substrates, okay, than 3 degree substrates. Yeah, I'll write that over here, that methyl substrate, methyl alkyl halide, will give you a faster reaction compared to a 1 degree alkyl halide, compared to a 2 degree alkyl halide, compared to a 3 degree alkyl halide, because 3 degree alkyl halide has too much steric hindrance. In fact, in the case of 3 degree alkyl halides, okay, in the case of 3 degree alkyl halides, you will never notice an SN2 reaction. SN2 reaction does not happen with 3 degree halides. An elementary reaction is a single step reaction. Rohit, these models are available on Amazon. So the one that I have is known as the teacher set. Let me just show this to you. The one that I have is known as the teacher set, as you can see. Yeah, there is a student set available. There is a basic set available, so you can go for it. Amazon pe likho atomic model, and you will get it. Okay. Fine, people, understood? These are very important points about the particular reaction, that over here 1 degree substrates will give you a better rate than 2 degree substrates, than 3 degree substrates. Okay, fine. Smaller substrates are always better for nucleophilic substitution by molecular. चलो ये हो गया. Now my dear friends, the next thing is to discuss about the leaving group. तो मैं नए पेज पे चला जाता हूँ यहाँ पे. And what is a good leaving group? What is a good leaving group? A good leaving group is something that can keep its electrons easily. Yeah, something that is okay with electrons. For example, if you break apart the chlorine bond, it turns into Cl negative. If you break apart the bromine bond, it turns into Br negative. If you break apart an iodine bond, it turns into I negative. All of these three are very happy with the electrons, isn't it? Now, if I have to compare their leaving group tendencies, my dear friends, iodide is a better leaving group. Why is iodide a better leaving group? Because of low charge density. Yeah. Iodine is happy with its electrons in reality because it has low charge density. Don't think about electron gain enthalpy over here, because we are not talking about an isolated gaseous atom. We are talking about a bonded scenario breaking its bond to become a negatively charged species. We are not talking about electron gain enthalpy over here. Okay. So in this particular case, a better leaving group is the one which has the negative charge happily. Iodine is very happy with the negative charge because it has a low charge density. Alright. Bromine is a worse leaving group compared to iodide. Chloride is an even worse leaving group. Fluoride is a pathetic leaving group, by the way. Okay. Fluorine turning into fluoride. This is a pathetic leaving group. I'll write it over here. Pathetic bolo to very bad. Pathetic leaving group. Remember this. This piece of information will be important for us eventually. This does not want to leave. इसको money नहीं है छोड़ने का. Okay. I was just saying which is the better leaving group, tosylate versus iodine. Generally, tosylate is a better leaving group, but their leaving group tendencies are comparable to each other. Okay. High-tech diary is saying, why is neopentyl inert to the SN2 though the carbon is primary? So high-tech is asking a very interesting question, and high-tech is saying that, sir, I have studied somewhere that this particular substrate is also, yeah, this particular substrate does not show SN2. Okay, this guy does not show SN2 reaction. You know what, just to explain it to you, I'll make a model of this. Okay, इसका एक model बना देता हूँ मैं, so that you can understand. The main idea over here is steric hindrance only. Okay, I'll put all the hydrogens for you so that you can understand exactly how bad the steric hindrance is over here as well. Fine. So the main reason, the basic straightforward reason is there is no space for the nucleophile to approach. Okay? There is no space for the nucleophile to approach because, I'll just finish the model. One moment. अच्छा, एक second, हाँ. Making these takes a little bit of time, So thank you so much for your patience, everyone. And in the meanwhile, you can definitely use the chat box to entertain yourselves. This is the structure that we've drawn on the screen, yes? This is the structure that we've drawn on the screen, isn't it? Fine. ये बनाया अपन ने screen पे. So now people, when the oxygen tries to approach from this side, there is still a lot of hindrance over here. Yeah. Can you see? Oxygen यहाँ से कैसे घुसेगा? How will oxygen even? No, there is too much hindrance. Fine. So more steric hindrance, bad SN2. High-tech diaries, now do you understand? So simple. Wow, क्या structure है यार. Looks nice. Great. So we've understood the steric hindrance part as well. Now comes the most important part of this particular reaction mechanism, and that is the stereochemistry. Yeah, basics of this reaction you already know. Khatam. Now we have to understand the stereochemistry. Okay, very important part. People, instead of taking a very simple substrate like CH3X, let's take something that's a little more complicated. Let's take something that is optically active in nature. Okay, let's take something that is optically active in nature. तो ये carbon लिया मैंने, and leaving group once again, let's take it as chlorine. Sorry. Let's say there is a hydrogen over here. Let's say there is a CH3 over here. Just for illustrative purposes, we'll take a 2-degree substrate over here, and let's take a C2H5. Alright, let's take a C2H5, and what I will try to do is I will once again try to react it with an OH negative. So backside attack will happen, chlorine will leave. Okay, that's very simple. Backside attack, chlorine will leave, and what we will get eventually is there will be a carbon. We all know that the OH will be on the other side as chlorine right now. The top CH3 will remain as the top CH3. ठीक है, ऊपर वाला CH3 ऊपर ही रहेगा. That will not go anywhere. The backside hydrogen, okay, now this is where the important part is. The backside hydrogen is pointing away from you right now. It will now be pointing away from you in the other direction. I'll try to show it to you as best as I can. ऐसे सोच के देखते हैं. Yeah. Yeah, okay. So initially the hydrogen was pointing away from you in this direction. Yeah, can you see hydrogen pointing away from you in this direction? The ring flip, not the ring flip, the carbon flip, as I showed you earlier, will force this hydrogen to go in the other direction. It's still pointing away from you, but in the other direction. ठीक है, यहाँ से ये यहाँ चला जाएगा. Alrighty. So hydrogen will go over here. Harshini Singh, why does nitrogen show higher minus I than oxygen? Nitrogen shows higher minus I than oxygen only when it has some other substituents on it. Generally, oxygen has a higher minus I. It depends on the substituents, and most of the times their effects are very comparable to each other. So don't worry about the exact order in that case. And C2H5, my dear friends, over here, once again, it was pointing towards you in a certain direction. Since the carbon will flip, यहाँ से oxygen आएगा, carbon will flip. It now points towards you, but in the other direction. Yeah, exactly, Rosant. अगर west पे था तो वो whatever. If it was pointing in the southwest, now it will point in the southeast, something like that. Okay, so C2H5 will go and sit over here. My dear friends, do you notice that over here there is something like inversion of the stereo center? Umbrella flip ko we can also give it a fancy name. We can call it the inversion of the stereo center. Okay, ये मैंने क्यों बेवकूफों की तरह Cl लगा दिया वापस, OH group, and Cl negative is leaving. Sorry for that mistake. I is saying if the substrate is a 2 degree, then what reaction takes place, SN1 or SN2? Depends on the other conditions. If you have a strong nucleophile, then more probability of SN2. If you have a polar aprotic solvent, more probability of SN2. Yeah. So you look at the other conditions as well. Okay. Now do you understand? Mahadev, so in SN1 reaction, you will need a weaker nucleophile and a polar protic solvent. We will do that in the next class, so don't worry about it. Yeah, okay. So over here, inversion of the stereocenter has happened. And my dear friends, this inversion of stereocenter, to understand it, just to understand it, okay, let's try to write the RS configuration. Okay, just to understand the inversion, let's try to write the RS configuration of this particular carbon. So hydrogen is already at the back, thankfully, that's why I took it at the back. Chlorine first priority, C2H5 second priority, CS3 third priority. This is what? R configuration. Let's look at the other case now. First priority, second priority, third priority. Do you realize this has now turned into an S configuration? Palat gaya na? Just to notice, I am showing you an example where R turns into S. My question to you, and it is very simple, is it necessary that R will turn into S in a stereochemistry change reaction like SN2 reaction? Is it necessary that R will change into S? Batao. Is it necessary that R will change into S in an SN2 reaction? Yes or no? High tech, yes, there are, and we will do that later on. Today, the main focus is on SN2 reactions. Next class, when we'll do SN1 reaction, then we'll do E1 reaction, E2 reaction. Finally, we'll be able to compare all of those reactions with each other. Harshini, please go back and revise optical isomerism. If you haven't, then the rest of organic chemistry will be very difficult for you. I have taken an isomerism marathon and I've taken a separate class on optical isomerism. Please just go back and watch that. Yeah. Sanjay Singh will eclipse. Sanjay, we don't worry about conformers over here at all. Okay, conformers already have very less energy gaps in them. They can easily interconvert into each other. So we don't even worry about their interconversion in a certain reaction. So my question to you was whether SN2 will force an R configuration carbon to turn into an S configuration carbon. Yeah. Let me take a certain example for you that will make it a little more clear to you what I'm trying to say. Okay, एक example लेता हूँ आपके लिए बड़ा मजेदार सा. It's just for illustration, this example, very rare, but just for illustration. So let's say there is a carbon over here already, and it's got a chlorine, a phosphorus on it. Instead of a nitrogen, a phosphorus on it. There is a hydrogen and there is a deuterium. You could put a CH3 over here as well. Okay, deuterium. D is what? The higher isotope of hydrogen. Theoretical. Put the oxygen. Then there's a carbon. You know what to do. Oxygen will have approach from the opposite side. The pH2's direction is not changing at all. But the hydrogen, because of the flip, now points in the other direction. The deuterium also, because of the flip, points in the other direction. Now, let's write the RS configuration. Chlorine versus phosphorus. Chlorine has higher atomic number, higher atomic mass. So chlorine first priority, phosphorus second priority, deuterium third priority. This is S configuration. Look at the right hand side now. Phosphorus first priority, oxygen second priority, deuterium third priority. It is again S configuration. Yeah. The flip has happened. Flip has happened. If everyone can see that the flip has happened. Flip has happened. Yeah, flip तो हुआ है, but RS has not changed because of the kind of substituents that we've taken. मेरी हैंडराइटिंग इतनी घटिया है, क्या करूं मैं पता नहीं. Fine. Because of the type of substituents that we've taken, the configuration doesn't change, but the stereo center has definitely undergone a flip. The stereo center has definitely undergone a flip. It's just that the RS configuration has not changed. Fine. So this inversion of stereo center, this umbrella flip that happens in the central carbon is also known as, there's a fancy word for it, also known as Walden inversion. Okay, Walden inversion. This is just a fancy name for the stereochemistry change. Okay, fine. Acha. Now my next question to you is, let's say the reactant over here is dextrorotatory. Let us say, okay, अपन ने खुद assume किया ये. Even if you do an experiment, let's say the starting material over here is dextrorotatory. Can you tell me what will be the product? Will the product be levorotatory or dextrorotatory? What do you think? Singh, Kellen, have you ever filled in any of your examinations? In college I have. I repeated it and got good marks then. I would suggest Suratkal, Bunny. Akshay is saying it should be levorotatory. Acha. Rosant is saying levorotatory. Rohit is giving me some weird emojis. You know what the actual answer is, my dear friends? Remember what I told you in optical isomerism. Dextro-levo can never be predicted. It can never be predicted. Okay, you just can not predict. Okay, see how chlorine reacts and how chlorine affects the path of light, how OH affects the path of light. You don't know how OH in the combination with C2H5 and CH affects the path of light. Has no relation with the fact that chlorine and C2H5 and CH3 rotates the light in dextrorotatory fashion. There's no relationship over here. Okay, unless and until you put it in the polarimeter, you do the experiment, you see where the light is bending, you cannot predict whether it is dextrorotatory or levorotatory. Just remember this point. Dextrorotatory nature and levorotatory nature can never be predicted. It always has to be taken care of by an experiment. Only case that you can be sure of is if there are two enantiomers. If the two enantiomers, one is dextrorotatory, the other obviously will be levorotatory because there's no other option. Yeah. Unless and until you have two enantiomers with each other, there is no possibility of predicting whether a compound is dextro or levo. Okay, fine. Got it? Chalo, badhiya. So, the configuration may or may not change. The stereochemical center, the carbon definitely undergoes a flip. Okay, this is also known as a Walden inversion, but you cannot predict if the initial compound was dextro, whether the final compound will be levorotatory or not. And Core Camp official, please go back and repeat my class of optical isomers. Okay, if you can't understand what I've repeated 20 times right now, then definitely there's a gap in your learning. Please, my humble suggestion to you, go back and revise isomerism. Chalo, ye ho gaya. Bahut badhiya, very nice. We've literally understood everything that is there in this reaction. सब समझ आ गया अपने को इस reaction का. Okay, fine. So now, my dear friends, I'm gonna ask you a question. Just 2-3 questions that we'll try to do, and then we will finish today's class. SN2 reactions are literally over. The more details of SN2 when we compare this with other reactions. Okay, so I'm going to give you 3 substrates to start with. This is the first substrate, this is the second substrate, and the third substrate looks something like this. Okay, this is A, this is B, this is C. You have to tell me in the chat box what will be their relative rate of SN2 reaction. You have to give me an order. Yeah, you have to give me an order of the rate of SN2 reaction in this particular case. Batao ji, what will be the order of rate of SN2 reaction? Core Camp is saying, please हिंदी में समझाओ. यार मैं कितनी बार बता चुका हूँ, मैं अंग्रेजी में ही समझाता हूँ. हिंदी में अभी तो नहीं समझाऊंगा. आप बाकी टीचर्स का जाके देख सकते हैं सेशन। अनअकैडमी पे इतने अच्छे अच्छे और टीचर्स हैं हिंदी में पढ़ाने वाले। अगले साल शायद हिंदी में पढ़ाऊँ, अगर मैं कुछ पढ़ाऊँगा तो, पर अगले साल देखेंगे। Ayush is saying, no sir, please cover SN1, E1, E2, E1, CB, SNA all in today's session. Ayush, do one thing. Come here, sit in place of me, do 5-6 hours of class, then I'll ask you. भाई हम भी इंसान हैं, टीचर हैं माना, but we are also humans, man. I don't have the necessary time or energy or necessity of doing all of the reactions in one go. बताओ भाई, देखो simple सा idea over here. You have to look at steric hindrance. The first thing over here is a 3-degree substrate, isn't it? The second thing over here is a 2-degree substrate. The third thing over here is what? The third thing is actually a 1-degree substrate. They have shown you hydrogens just to confuse you. Okay, hydrogens generally we don't draw them. Yeah, hydrogen agar hatao, so this is what the structure is. It's just a simple 1 degree. Fine. So just drawn the hydrogens over there to confuse you. So over here, the rate of the first case will be the highest, then the second one, and then the third one. The third one will have the most amount of steric hindrance. Yeah. Apramay Singh, I read LG weight and the way you teach is pretty similar to how it's given in the book. Apramay, chalo, I'll take it as a compliment, bro. Because it's been literally a decade since I've actually opened that book. But if I can still teach in a way that it's similar to that book, it's definitely good. Yeah. Punarvas, I'm not sure when, okay, because I'm not good at teaching inorganic chemistry as such, so I'll definitely do question solving sessions of those for you, but teaching sessions I'm not sure, so look for a different source for them right now itself. Okay. Vishnu, man, all the best from my side, and I'll definitely see you in the next क्या कहते हैं, कौन सी क्लास है यार वो, why do I forget the name? Subjectively brilliant class, and I will definitely see you in an all the best session that I'll take on the 1st of October as well. Okay. चलो बढ़िया, ये सबको समझ आ गया. If you guys understood this, then that is amazing. High tech, I'll see, bro. If I have time, I will definitely try to do something like that. Okay. So my next question for you is, which of these will not give an SN2 reaction? Which of these will not give an SN2 reaction? So there are some very interesting structures for you. Structure number A is structure number B. Okay, then structure number C is even more interesting. Yeah, there are basically these multiple rings joined with each other. I'll try to draw a better image of that. It's this bicyclo type of compound, and D is, batao, which of these will not give you the SN2 reaction? फटाफट से बताओ, simple. Harshini, this chapter will take time, maybe another 2 weeks. Girik, very good job. High tech, absolutely correct. People, this is a multiple correct answer. 2 people have given me the correct answers till now. Naveen, for organic, MS Chauhan's books are better. Jagdish Singh, can you cover entire organic chemistry in 6 hours? Can you live your entire life in 1 year? Yeah. The answer to this question is none of these will give you an SN2 reaction. देखो क्यों? ये भाई साहब अपने 3 degree हैं. We've already seen this example. This guy is also 3 degree, and there's an entire ring. कहाँ attack होगा? There is no space to attack over here. Yeah, there is no space to attack over here. या तो हो ही नहीं सकता attack. Fine. For the first 2 structures A and B, let me tell you this fact that you have to remember. Okay, that sp2 carbons Okay, sp2 carbons are useless for substitution. Okay, sp2 carbons are useless for substitution. sp2 carbons पे substitution नहीं हो सकता. SN1, SN2, it will not happen. Okay, these particular carbons, the sp2 carbons, they are very bad for substitution reactions. Why? Because the transition state in this case is, first of all, not stable at all. Second, backside attack is also not very easy over here. Okay, Jagdish bro, I am realistic, and if you have not attended my earlier classes, then you will think my sarcasm is rude. Fine with me. Yeah. Chalo. Cool people. So just remember that none of these can give you an SN2 reaction. Anyway, cool. Chalo, badhiya. So I think it is good enough information for now for SN2 reactions. I'll tell you what we'll do in the next few classes. So the schedule that I am looking at right now is that on Monday at 8:30 p.m. we'll look at a little more advanced electrophilic aromatic substitution reaction part. Okay, and the second thing is on Wednesday at 8:30 p.m. Fine. On Wednesday at 8:30 p.m. we will look at SN1 reaction. Fine. So this is what I can envision in the next few classes. Then after SN1 we'll go to elimination reactions. Then we'll compare SN1 and substitution and elimination together, and then we will move on into more reactions of alkyl halides chapter. Fine. Coolio. Chalo. Ioizing, can SN1 and SN2 take place at the same time? It can happen. It does happen in a lot of cases, and when we'll continue SN1 and SN2 together, we'll learn more about those cases as well. There are some reaction conditions where both reactions can happen. Okay, for example, you take a polar protic solvent, but you take a strong nucleophile and a 2-degree substrate. So both reaction mechanisms can take place, and they do take place. Jagdish, it's fine, bro. I was never meant to say anything in a serious manner. It was all nice and chill. लव इजिंग SN1 बहुत मुश्किल है. लव भाई SN1 बिल्कुल मुश्किल नहीं है. आपने पढ़ा नहीं होगा सही से, या किसी ने पढ़ाया नहीं होगा सही से. SN1 बहुत आसान है. मैं कराऊंगा आपको अगली क्लास में. ठीक है, चलो. सो इनऑर्गेनिक IOQC, okay, sorry, I not sure. Like, where is the exact problem? If you can elaborate it a little more, then I can tell you about it. Roshan, that's awesome, man. Chalo. So people, that's it from my side. Thank you so much for joining in. Make sure you hit that thumbs up button, and I'm going to see you at 11 in the casual conversation session. And please keep that session casual today. I'm really not interested in taking academic doubts today. Just like that. Cool. So, Harshini, yes, you can definitely ask a doubt in the comment section as well. Fine. Sanjay, just write SN1 Pahul sir on YouTube. You will get a video. Chalo, people, that's it from my side. Bye bye. Take care. Good night and see you soon.